we did our research in 2004, we did recognize that the nature of private schools required an extensive advisory services program to support the schools to be able to access loans from the banks and also to be able to manage their businesses better. So we do not consider ourselves as education experts, and so we went out there and found people in the market who were delivering these services, arranged and agreed with them specific fees that would be charged to schools, agreed with the schools what amounts they could pay, what amounts IFC could pay, and I think so far we've accessed, or basically we've helped about 52 schools in Ghana, of which 25 or 26 have accessed financing. Now, we moved out of Ghana. We didn't move out of Ghana. We expanded the program outside of Ghana into Kenya in 2007, and Jane is managing the Kenyan program. We've also moved into Rwanda. In Rwanda, we have a financing facility leveraging about $12 million, of which, as of now, about $7 to $8 million has been lent out to schools in Rwanda, alongside our advisory services program in the same vein. Jen will talk a bit more about the advisory services components that we provide.
The training that we do for schools, but our technical advisory services has two components. We do training that's specifically aimed at the schools, as well as training for banks. So I'll first talk about the banks that we work with. We realize that most banks, financial institutions, are averse to working with schools, and a lot of them don't have a lot of experience in working with schools. So in order for them to give loans to school, they need some technical assistance to be able to understand the sector and the needs of the private schools as they vary from the other sectors. Because when you're evaluating a loan application from a school, it's not the same as a manufacturing agency. So it needs to be really specific. At the school level, we offer training in 3 levels. So we do what we call direct school development services. We realize that schools need to be prepared to be able to access the loans from the facilities. So we do this through a process of carrying out school self-diagnostics and business planning for schools. So we get consultants to work with schools on a one-on-one basis to help the schools to develop their business plans, which they then present to the banks for financing. And this is usually done on a cost-sharing basis, usually 50-50, so the school pays 50% of the cost and IFC pays 50% of the cost. And then also, if schools require, when we carry out the self-diagnostics for each school, if they require integrated management information systems, we help them identify consultants who help them put that in place. Same for accounting and finance management packages, corporate governance, and human resource. Then we also carry out sector-wide workshops. These target all the schools in the market, all the private schools in the market. So we run a series of workshops, and some of the areas that we cover are finance and accounting management, human resource management, school marketing, corporate governance, curriculum and learning management, because apart from being able to manage the business, they also need to manage the key component that they're actually delivering, which is the curriculum. We also look at quality assurance in schools. So where we come with this is that a lot of people who run schools, they're in 2 categories. They either are not educationists, so they running a school as a business, so they need to understand the educational aspects of running a school, and this is curriculum and learning management. How do you evaluate your teachers? How are your students assessed? How do the teachers actually manage that process in the classroom? They need to be involved. What are the quality indicators of a school? What will tell you that your school is doing well? So that's where we do with the educational specific aspects, which are curriculum and learning management and quality assurance. And then there are the retired teachers or a couple, the husband decided that the wife should run the business. She was a teacher and now they opened a school and she's running a business. So she has the educational aspect, but they lack the business skills. And this is where the other training on financial management, business development services generally comes in. And then as we carry out these workshops, we also, at this level, we also develop manuals, a set of manuals after every training. And these manuals are used for reference purposes by schools. And even after, the schools that don't manage to participate in these programs can refer to them. And then we also do work about to address the operating environment, and this is working with the local associations to tackle any issues that they may be facing in the market. In terms of advisory services, we've had testimonials from schools that have now been able to put systems in place that have helped these schools be able to manage their records. A school can easily track how many students they have, what is the school fees level, is that level appropriate for the school, is it sustainable, are they making a profit, are they collecting their fees, they're able to manage the academic records, they're able now to, as school owners, entrepreneurs, they now know whether their teachers are actually delivering or not delivering. So in terms of training, we don't actually do the, we don't interfere with the curriculum, we don't add or change the curriculum at all, but we help the school to be able to manage the curriculum effectively. So in total, the program has lent about, I think 15 million, Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda put together, 15 million US dollars. And so some of the challenges that we face in implementing this program, there's a huge demand from schools for these services, for both access to finance and advisory services, the technical, the training. And so we will need partners to come in with us to be able to meet this huge demand. And then also due to the global financial crisis, the funds available are limited. So again, need for partners to come in and provide financing. An example is a bank that we were working in Kenya that faced a lot of liquidity constraints due to the global financial crisis. So this necessitates then a change of the model such that we provide funding to such institutions to be able to give the loans. And then also reaching the low-income schools has been a challenge. We do have a few low-income schools on the program in Kenya, but it's been quite challenging because these schools, their business models are marginally sustainable. To be able to participate in this program effectively, a school has to be able to take a commercial loan and repay it. But you find that the low-income schools, their fee levels are so low such that they cannot sustain the business, and therefore they are precluded from this program. So we need to find flexible and innovative ways of reaching these schools through partnerships with other organizations. And then the low-income schools also have, usually they will not have adequate security or collateral to access the loans. So this is some of the ways in which we think we can work with like-minded organizations. We're looking for partnerships in risk sharing. We would like to be able to bring partners on board to help us work with local financial institutions, be they commercial banks or microfinance institutions, to share the risk of giving the loans to these schools. This will encourage these institutions to give more loans than they ordinarily would do. We also need partners to come in with funding, provide lines of credit to microfinance institutions so they can extend these loans to the schools. And then we also need more funding for technical assistance. As I said, the demand for these services is huge, and not only one organization cannot do it on their own.
Just to conclude, as Jane said, even though our model is proven, the banks have initially targeted a lot of middle-income schools who charge fees in the range of $100 a term to about $400, $500 a term. They have been the ones that have been able to access financing. However, our advisory services has permeated the whole spectrum of schools and has worked with low, medium, and high-income schools as well. We deliberately do not work with international schools that cater for expatriate children, but we work with schools that work with middle-income children and so on. So we're reaching out. We're looking at a partnership with GBF and Grey Ghost